of this year in missions and growing deeper with the Lord. So some of you may know, some of you may not. So I work with a group called YWAM, which stands for Youth with a Mission. Cool. That's YWAM, Youth with a Mission. I love that picture because it has our tagline at the bottom, which says to know God and to make him known. And I just think that's what it's all about, really. If you were to sum up the Christian life, that's it. It's just to go deeper with the Lord and to make him known. And how can we make him known if we don't know him? And then it just is sort of this symbiotic relationship. It just keeps going and it goes deeper and you never get to the bottom of it, which is awesome. But that's really what I've been living. I joined Youth with a Mission to do a discipleship training school last year, and I was standing in the spot not long ago, this time last year, sharing about what I'd learned on that school. And now a year has passed. I've been stepping out in leadership. I staffed the same school that I did. I led a team to Cambodia, so I've got stories from that, but really I hope that you can see what the Lord's done in me. He's molded me, he's shaped me over a year of just pastorally caring for people, of doing what people did to me. I really felt that my life was just blown apart by this thing called encouragement, and we don't know a lot about that in England because we don't like to do it and we don't like to receive it. But something I learned living with a lot of Americans who are wild, man. They're just like, you're awesome, dude. And I found that really hard to receive because I was like, oh, they're just joking. But the day I started receiving what people said about me as true, I started to see myself as God saw me, which was amazing. Because God says that you guys are amazing. He says that I'm amazing, which is how I'm able to stand up here and actually be free from what you think, which is really cool. Because I used to be so scared of what people thought of me. But what encouragement did was it gave me God's perspective about me. And my life has been changed ever since that. So that's been awesome. And you guys should dig into that. Just encouragement is just really cool. So I am a staff at YWAM in Australia. YWAM is an international group. We're not just in Australia, we're all around, we're in England. But we're about raising up young people to know God and make him known. And I thought I could try to explain it, but I found an awesome video, which Si's going to get up. And this really explains what YWAM's all about, just to preface what I'm doing. And then we'll get into some songs.
So what is Youth with a Mission? Youth with a Mission, or YWAM, is a global movement of Christians dedicated to knowing God and making God known. YWAM started in 1960 as a way to get young people involved in missions. We still do that today, but we're involved in every kind of outreach, every kind of ministry that you could imagine. We currently have over 18,000 staff, with locations in over 180 countries. YWAM's many ministries fit into three major categories: evangelism, training, and mercy ministries. We do evangelism because we believe that everyone in the world has the right to hear the message of Jesus. We do training to equip people to use their unique calling to do that. And everyone in Youth with a Mission does an intensive half-year discipleship course called the Discipleship Training School. Our third focus is mercy ministries, where our staff are giving hope to the poor, sick, and those suffering from injustice. YWAM has a place for everyone and endless opportunities. You can find out more about what we're doing and ways to get involved at our website.
That's cool, isn't it? I love that. So did you see the three things, training, evangelism, and mercy? A lot of people tend to just fit into one, but I actually love all three. So in the past year, I've pursued all of those: evangelism, training, which was being staffed for students, and then mercy ministry. So how can we actively help the poor and feed the sick, as well as pray for those people as well? So that's been really cool. My base in Australia, I live in a place called Twoomba. We have a music and worship focus, which is why I'm standing here with my weapon, or with my guitar even. I love it, it's awesome. But it's how I communicate, and we are a base that attracts artists. So it's not just musicians, it's dancers, it's painters. And we just say you have a place, because in the world I think artists are often regarded as people who are second best or not really doing anything with their life. That's certainly how I was looked upon at school. But when I got to YWAM, I was just, my mind was opened into this place of, wow, like, artists have a place. Like, we're all artists in our own right, but we all can create and do it for the Lord as well. It doesn't have to be this sacred, secular divide. When Jesus died, it says that the temple veil was split, which meant everything is just mixed into this awesome, colorful chaos thing, and God's working in all of it, so we can't box him. Just a side note there. But that's really cool. That's what I've learned this year. So I've been pursuing music and worship a lot. I did that while I was in Frinton, and the Lord's just grown it in me and put a spirit of just passion for worship in me, and how to write songs that will appeal to people and also tell my story through that, which is really cool. Part of my journey last year, in April, I was asked to lead a team to Cambodia. So here I am, this first-time leader. I barely did any leadership here at home, and they're saying, take a team of 10 students your age, some older than you, to Cambodia to work for 6 weeks. So that was really exciting. I had a co-leader, Hannah, who's on the sofa in the black dress, second one from the left. She was great. She's from America. So we led the team together, and those are students on our January school, which was our DTS of music and worship. I don't know why we look so awkward. YWAMers do a good job of that. It looks really awkward. And that's taken just outside of our base, so our house looks over the Great Dividing Range in Australia, which is really exciting. So that was Cambodia. We touched down in Phnom Penh in the capital, and we started to do some ministry there. We weren't there for too long before we headed off to another town, and we worked with so many different ministries here. One of them was just with street kids. They were amazing, so fun. And one of them was Destiny Rescue. And some of you guys might remember I was here last year talking about this group who basically rescue young girls from the sex trade. So girls as young as 12 are now being sold into sex slavery, which I know is really disgusting, but it happens. And so I really wanted to go in and see how we could make a difference. And it was so cool just going into these rescue homes of girls as young as 12, some 12 to 18, who had been rescued, and just sat with them. And I was just sitting with stories of redemption and testimonies of the Lord's goodness, because they're a Christian group. They're not just a humanitarian thing. When they rescue girls, they restore them and pour identity in them, because we don't know who we are without God's identity in us, guys. So we were just sitting with these girls and worshipping the Father with them, and it was so cool just to worship the same God with these girls who have gone through hell, but you would never be able to tell, because they're just amazing, full of joy, love playing games with us. It was just awesome. This was in a ministry called Crossing Cambodia, and this was working with street kids. So we'd pick them up in the morning, and then we'd take them home at night, which was the toughest part, because we'd pick them up sometimes just sleeping on the street, and their parents wouldn't be around, and we'd have to take them back at the end of the day because it wasn't an orphanage. We just looked after them for the day and gave them education. But that was in Battambang, which is the north of Cambodia. And that was my favorite kid. She's called May May, and she just clung to me for the whole week, and it was awesome. She was just amazing. So that was outreach. That was a highlight of my year. I've actually been asked to lead a team to Cambodia again this year, April to May, for 6 weeks, which is really exciting. We'll probably be working with some of the main ministries, but they've asked me to spearhead this and get in touch with people. So I'm frantically planning that from England, co-working with leaders in Australia, then working with Cambodians who aren't the best with communication, guys. You'll send an email, it will probably come back within the next 6 weeks if you're lucky. But that's how it goes, and I've really learned to be flexible. I don't know if you've noticed, but I feel heaps more chill after living in Australia and joining missions, because especially in Asia, they'll say, you're preaching today with 10 minutes to spare, and you'll just have to preach, or you're going to this ministry. Oh no, sorry, it's cancelled, you're going there. And you just have to deal with it, and I think it's really easy for us to like our schedules and our time, but part of being a disciple of Christ is actually saying, deny self, seek the things which are above, and it's just the most fulfilling life, guys. It's really cool, laying down that pride and laying down rights and to my time, and then seeking God, and in that you just find a fulfilling life, way more than any other life, which is really cool. That is a mural on our YWAM base. I'm going to play a song later, but that's basically every tribe, every tongue, every nation is a song lyric that I penned last year. And I really felt that God gave me that line specifically. And it just became this big thing. People start making T-shirts out of it. They painted that on some walls. And it's just become the tagline of our base, really, which is really sweet. So that's definitely a testimony of how the Lord can use a song to speak to the masses, which is awesome. I'm going to play some songs. Is that cool? Sweet. So I'd sort of toyed, just to preface, this is a miracle that I'm standing here, because I didn't actually like playing my own songs in public. I was so afraid of it, and I'm just so stoked to be here sharing my own songs with you guys with no fear, no insecurity, and no nerves in my heart, because 6 months ago I sat down with the Lord, and I was sick of getting nervous when I played, and I was like, sometimes we can be like, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's the way life goes. But actually, I felt that I was being challenged to be like, no, nerves don't have to be a thing, and nerves don't come from God. They don't exist in the kingdom. So why are they existing in my life? So I sat down with God, and he showed me that it was a root of fear of man, of being scared what people would think. But he broke that off me, and ever since I haven't been nervous. So like, just to encourage you guys, if there's any performers out there, like it doesn't have to be a thing, man. You don't have to be nervous, because if it's good enough for the King of Kings, it's good enough, which is what he told me, which was really cool. So that's cool, right? That's amazing. But these songs, yeah, I sort of toyed with the idea of, shall I put the lyrics up? Because I'm an artist and I like people to express themselves and you interpret how it is. But I really think that God has like specifically given me a lot of these lyrics, some of them the whole song. And we've just been co-laboring and writing songs together. And I think it's really cool to put these up on the screen, because some of you might not always catch the word I say, and I'd hate for you to miss out on it. So as a testimony of what the Lord's done as well, I'm going to have most of the lyrics on the screen, so I hope that's cool with you guys. And this first song is a song that I wrote a few months ago. I was writing it on banjo, and literally this never happens to me, but the Lord just went, and all the lyrics came in like 2 minutes, and I didn't change a single one since then. And this is basically my testimony. The end, the bridge is like a picture he gave me, but I'll let you picture that in your mind. And yeah. This is called Rope, by the way. I was born by the waterside, was born to sail and not be a hideaway. Fresh air and salt within my lungs, a taste of what was soon to come. I was just a boy who craved adventure, and more than the world could offer. But I'll settle for less, 'cause in my flesh was fear. For a while they had me pegged, I was in the gutter a wreck, crying, Father, this drunken sailor needs your rest. But I could use some rope out here, call my name and draw me near. Please don't let me drown, my dear. But you pulled me further from the shore, to new horizons I was born to reach. Well, the wind and waves began to rise, I turned my gaze beyond your eyes, and I fell away. So you say you crave adventure, and more than the world could offer. Try to water you down with bitter words, and words coated out with shit. For a while they had me pegged, face down in the gutter a wreck, crying, Father, this drunken sailor needs your rest. No. But I could use some rope out here, call my name and draw me near. Please don't let me drown, my dear. But I could use some rope out here, call my name and draw me near. Please don't let me drown, my dear. Oh. My eyes met yours, and I noticed something floating towards me. Holding on, you called me son, and I saw what you had thrown into the sea. Oh my God, I said, pulled me in on wood stained red. saying, child, I never saw a wreck, but a soul worth saving. I could use some rope out here, call my name and draw me near. Oh, please don't let me drown, my dear. Thanks so much. So, don't know if you could picture that in your mind, but it was a picture the Lord gave me of basically a bit of my testimony. Like, I was really into partying and drinking, hence the drunken sailor reference. It was kind of subtle, but I just, sort of was in a bad place, and then the Lord gave me this picture of what happened when he rescued me from that place. And he always tends to speak to me through the sea, because I grew up by the seaside, like that line. He just speaks to me through oceans and nautical things, which is why I've got the compass up there, funnily enough. But he showed me this picture of me drowning and just lost, and because I'd refused his help, right, and that's never a good place. And instead of a ring, he threw me his cross, which was stained with blood, and that's what he used to pull me in with, like the bridge between us. And he just pulled me aboard, and I haven't left that ship since, and it's been awesome. He's a great sailor. He knows what he's doing, guys. So I love that song. It's good fun. Thank you, Jesus. And this next song is called Salt, and it's about my baptism. So I hope you enjoy it. Under the water I go. Farewell, friend, farewell, man of old. I'd shed a tear, but you won't be missed at all. 'Cause sorrow has no place when your heart's my home. Oh, sorrow has no place here anymore. Bond my heart and bury me 6 feet under. Water washes me with the sound of redemption song. My sons and my daughters will tell of this day. The King made his kingdom in my soul. And up from the water I rise. Oh, I'm dripping with the oils of new life. But your glory hung on a tree. It made a saint from an enemy. Put holes in your hands so that I could be made new. You're the savior of my shipwrecked soul. Bond my heart and bury me 6 feet under. Water washes me with the sound of redemption song. My sons and my daughters will tell of this day. The King made his kingdom in my soul. I said you're gonna need some salt to clean my wounds, but your blood's an antiseptic. Water and blood like a flood washes over my heart. The King made his kingdom in my soul. Thank you. I promise you they're not all sad sounding like that. I had someone say once that happy people write sad songs and sad people write happy songs. I'm not really sure how true that is because I write both, but it's cool. So I guess my baptism has become a huge part of my testimony, and it's something that has really stuck with me. And just the sheer weight of what happened hasn't really hit in and struck me until like 3 years later. And it's always going to be awesome, I think. But that bridge just spoke to me just about needing salt to clean my wounds. Like sometimes we think that our wounds are too great for Jesus and we're beyond saving, but we're never beyond saving. Like whatever you've got, whatever junk you've got, he can clean it out and make you a man like me, which is amazing. It's a miracle. But it's really cool, and I'm just so blown away by what the Lord's done in my life, really. I'm so grateful for him. That's really cool. So I've been doing a lot of discipling. I've had a lot of one-on-ones. Part of DTS is having you're a pastoral carer. So I was assigned 3 boys, and that was a real eye-opening experience to me because it was the first time I had to actually rely on God for wisdom. Like the wisdom of this world it doesn't translate. So when you're sitting in a position and there's a young guy he's telling you basically this was last January when I first arrived. I had a one-on-one. He'd just come for his school. He sat me down and told me in our first one-on-one, I don't know why I'm here. My mum forced me to come to YWAM. I don't believe in God. And I was like, oh. Like, what are you meant to do with that? He's at a Christian camp and he doesn't even believe in God, which actually happens more than you think it would. So in that moment, I was like, oh, man, I have to actually listen to God and not try and use my earthly wisdom. So that was a huge journey for me of just listening to the Lord and speaking his wisdom because I knew I couldn't do it on my own. And I guess a huge thing for me in the past year and joining missions has been that I really can't do it on my own, and just this word of like reckless abandon, like I'm just abandoned for him. And I have nothing else. I have no one else. And I think that's really cool because when he's all you've got, you realize how amazing he is. And you're not making excuses to try and spend time with him anymore. You're just doing it. And I have a lot of friends that share that same passion, really. One of my friends is called Landon. He's a fellow staffer with me at YWAM. And we formed like a band called Friend of Mine. And the next 2 songs that I want to share are songs that we wrote together. And I just think like what God's done through this band has been incredible. It's just us 2 playing folk music. But I'd love to share with you a quick testimony of what the Lord did last November. Me and my friend Landon booked a tour to go the east coast of Australia, so Byron Bay, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Surfers Paradise, all those places. And for me, it was a huge time of trusting the Lord and just being like, man, like I'm a new creation. Like there's a verse in the Bible which says, if anyone's in Christ, he's a new creation. All things have passed away. Everything has become new. Like not just 50% has come new. You've been made fully new. And I was about to go into places where I'd been before, where I'd been sort of scenarios where people were drinking, partying, doing all this stuff. And we'd book shows in pubs, clubs, venues. Like they weren't churches. They were pubs and clubs and bars, which is scary. And I think sometimes as a church, sometimes we're like, oh, just use wisdom. And it's great to use wisdom. But I just felt, man, this is the time and God can redeem me. And I just trusted him that I wasn't going to be tempted. I wasn't going to be swayed. I was going to go in. And it was just an amazing week. Like we booked 10 days, we like 2 shows a day. We'd busk, we'd play on the streets. And the Lord just like exploded into my life like never before. He just became my reality. I went to Byron Bay. I went to a great church called New Earth Tribe, who were just on fire for the Lord. And he really just used our music. So in these songs, this is what we played, like their kingdom lyrics. Some people wouldn't be able to tell, but we'd go into pubs, clubs, bars, play our sets of songs we'd written. And then people would come up to us afterwards and be like, what was that? I felt something there. why are you guys so different? Stuff like that, and you just have this door open to go in, boom, you are so loved, guys. And it was amazing being able to minister to people who looked like I used to, but with a different agenda. So I went in with heaven's agenda, and it was like incredible, guys. Like, oh man, my life was changed so much last November. October, I think it was. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway. But this whole thing of being a new creation, like not once was I tempted to delve into alcohol or anything. Like I had a revelation that I had become new. And I was sitting with people who reminded me of my old self, who had maybe drunk a bit too much, who were doing drugs, and I sat with them. And often we think, oh, they're the unreachable. But they would confide in me and say, I don't want to do this. And I was like, I know, bro. And they were like, there's so much more. So often we think people have got it all together, but you get alone with them and they start sharing what's really on their heart because they see Jesus in your eyes. If you know God, people see Jesus in your eyes and they will open up to you because they're expecting that you'll be able to point them to the one who can fix it, which we can. So that was amazing. Got to pray for so many people. One of my favorite times. Is there another slide, Si? Bring a bong. Yeah. One of my favorite times was this hippie community outside of Byron Bay called Nimbin. And the whole place was like weed central, man. They grew marijuana. The police were smoking marijuana. It was like, it's famous for being this place where people just go and get high. And we played a show at this place called Bring a Bong with a little weed symbol in there so you can see. It was a great venue for Jesus to come and rock up. And we played these songs that I'm about to play to you and a whole other set. We invited people up to the stage for prayer. People got healed. I prayed for a lady's shoulder from New Zealand. It was completely healed. She didn't believe in God, but that doesn't stop the Lord. And it was cool, man. People got saved. And I'd never seen anything like it because we just believed that the Lord wanted to move and that these people were not too far gone for him. And the owner of this cafe, total hippie guy, liked our Jesus music so much. He said, come back and play again. I want to book you guys. And he fed us and gave us money. And he didn't even know what was hitting him, but the Lord was working on him. So never underestimate the impact God has. Just through two guys and guitars, guys. Like, it's not rocket science. It's really cool. I'm going to play these songs now. This first one is called Foxes. And it's got a lot of meaning for me. I'll explain after. But you'll probably recognize a Bible verse in there. Are you one of the ones who gets restless in your bones? And are you one of the ones who finds it hard to feel at home? And every foot, every step, every breath you take, is it for wandering's sake? And every foot, every step, every breath you take, is it for wandering's sake? Oh, I know it is. 'Cause foxes have their holes and birds have their nests. Oh, oh, oh. Where will this man go rest his head? Rest his head. I must confess, if you feel stirring in your chest, oh, your home is coming. He breathes fire on his elect. Yeah, I know he does. 'Cause every longing in the blood that runs through our veins, it's for his name's sake. Every longing in the blood that runs through our veins, oh, it's for his name's sake. We're just wanderers here. We're just passing through. We're just wanderers here, Lord. We're just passing through. There's some wanderers here tonight. We're just wanderers here, yeah. We're just passing through. All we have is now. Foxes have their holes and birds have their nests. Whoa. Where will this man rest his head? Rest his head. 'Cause foxes have their holes and birds have their nests. Where will this man rest his head? You gotta go to bed sometime, yeah. We all gotta go to bed sometime, yeah. I gotta go to bed sometime. We all gotta go to bed sometime. It's a fun one, isn't it? Like that. Hoping to record that this year. So basically, to give you context, there's a verse in the Bible where someone asked Jesus, I want to follow you, bro. And he's like, foxes have their holes, birds have their nests. Where will this man rest his head? In other words, I have nowhere to rest my head. I'm always on the move. I have no home. And I can really relate to that, you know. We wrote this song, me and my friend Landon, because we just felt there were lots of wanderers out there. And that pre-chorus, we're all wanderers here, was from a sermon from an Aboriginal lady in a tribe that I was working with who gave this amazing fiery sermon just out in the bush. And she was like, people of Bagot, the community. She was like, we're just wanderers here. We're just passing through. And it was like I was sitting watching like Martin Luther King, honestly. She was like, Jesus loves you. You are loved. It was the most amazing thing. We decided to just put it in a song. I hope she won't mind. But I can just really relate to this feeling of, man, like, where can I rest my head? And I think home is not a postcode, it's a state of mind. It's a revelation I've had this year. And I believe that God is my home. So it doesn't matter which nation I go to. I've found peace and I've found home in the one who is my home. And when you get that, it's just like, whoa, I can go anywhere. And I used to get so caught up with calling and what do I feel called to? And young Christians can get really caught up with that. Oh, what shall I do? And honestly, I think God's a lot of the time is just like, do whatever, just love me and be with me and let's just go on this adventure together. And I feel that's what he's saying to me. He's definitely put the nations of Cambodia and Thailand on my heart. But St. Augustine said, love God and do whatever, because when you're in love with him, a heart in communion and overflow will just do the will of God. You'll just, as you commune with the Father, you'll just touch people and kingdom of heaven will come down, and it's awesome. So that I can just relate to that, and I found my home in him, guys, and it's really cool. And I just pray for those that don't know him tonight. You will find your home in him, you know. This next song's called Rolling. I forgot to type up the lyrics for this, but it's pretty simple. It's one of my favorite songs to play. It's about resurrection, new life. We got to play at a music festival, a Christian music festival, and we played this on Easter Sunday in front of a packed crowd, and it was just the most amazing thing ever. So enjoy. It's called Rolling. Rolling, 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 rolling like a tomb. Rolling, 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 here comes the bridegroom. Watch my walls fall down. Oh, come watch my walls fall down. And like Lazarus coming out of the grave, so will I, oh so will I. I'll take my wrappings off and behave. I will live life, oh I will live life, and watch my walls fall down. Gonna watch my walls fall down. Rolling. Rolling, 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 rolling like a tomb. Rolling, 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 here comes the bridegroom. Rolling, 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 rolling like the tomb. Oh no, oh, he's alive. Rolling, 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 here comes the bridegroom. I wonder what it was like those 3 days in hell. It must have been, oh, it must have been wild. Yeah, I wonder what it was like, oh, those 3 days in hell. Yeah, it must have been, oh, it must have been a while. So, oh, 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 oh. Oh, go and put your hands in the holes in his side, he's alive, he's alive. Oh, go and put your hands in the holes in his side, he's alive, he's alive. Go and put your hands in the holes in his side, he's alive, he's alive. Oh, go and put your hands in the holes in his side, he's alive, he's alive. Rolling, 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 rolling like a tomb. Rolling, 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 here comes the bridegroom. Watch my walls fall down. Cool. I totally know that song can sound a bit weird if you don't know the Bible and Jesus, because basically he's referred to as the bridegroom. Some of you probably know that. Like we're his bride, he's the bridegroom. And for me, that was probably the theme of that tour. Like, how amazing, guys. Like, I just think it's amazing that I can go into the same places and minister and be light there where I came from. Like, that's amazing. God is just like the great transformer. And that song, Rolling, just spoke to me about resurrection and my baptism. It's a weird thing, isn't it, dying and rising again. But in order to look like we were created to be, we have to die and just rise again. It sounds morbid, but life and life to the full after that, which is awesome. So just being a new creation, rolling out my tomb, and just that song really became the theme, and we played that on our tour, and people loved it, because it sounds like just a hip chart song, right? It doesn't sound like a Christian, but people loved it, and I've just had my mind open this year to what it means to like be an artist. I know some of you will be able to relate, but I think I used to think it had to be a certain way, but the songs I'm playing tonight, like, I just believe that, we've written them together. It's been this relationship thing, and I just believe that they really speak. And when we play these sort of things in the worldly or in the secular environments, people get touched because they see and hear the truth in our voice, because we're singing truth, right? We're not just singing about our latest breakup or the girl we like, which is what I used to write about all the time. Now I'm actually singing about something that matters, and it's really cool. So truth is a huge thing that's just come alive in me since that tour, and what it means to know the way, to know the truth, and to know the life. And as we would sing these songs, people's hearts would just get pierced, and that's why they come up to us at the end and be like, what is it that you have? And we really want that. So that was a huge highlight for me this year, Cambodia and the tour, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I had heaps of opportunities. There's so much I could tell you about, but I'm just giving you the highlights really this evening. I got to speak at a YWAM conference with 1,500 people. Here I am, this new leader again, way out of my depth. But they actually, the way it worked is they wanted me to speak on being a prophet of culture. And that might sound strange to you, but I believe that God is raising up artists like myself to be prophets of culture, to speak into culture, and to actually shape the way. For hundreds of years, the church led the culture and the world followed. And some way in the last 100 years it switched. The world led and then the church followed, but I believe God's claiming back the arts because they're his. He's the great creator. And there's Christian artists rising up who are painting kingdom art and singing kingdom songs, and they're manifesting truth so lies can't get a word in. Because all we hear on the radio is just stuff, man, about self. And I want to sing and give God glory and just speak about something eternal, which I think is really exciting. So I got to speak at this conference about what it means to be a prophet of culture, how we can use our art. And on our YWAM base in the last 6 months, artists and musicians, we've raised enough to rescue 2 girls out the sex trade, which is awesome. So with Destiny Rescue, we actually funded the full rescue, which was $1,500, all just from playing music and painting art. So art definitely has a place to change things, guys. Like, yeah, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, like, you can make a difference, seriously. So that's 2 girls. I think they were 12 or 11 girls that are out of that and now onto a better life, which is really cool. We've got their names, we write to them. But that's a huge part of what I want to step into more this coming year. I want to keep doing music and art ministry and see how we as artists can make an impact on the kingdom. I want to see more girls rescued, and I just want to keep dreaming big, because Christ in me doesn't want a small life, you know? Like, if Jesus lives in you, then he doesn't want to live a small life. He wants to have this huge, awesome life, which is really exciting. So that's cool. 2 girls, hopefully more. So going off the Prophets of Culture thing, I just have a few more songs. I wrote a song this time last year, and I never played it until a few. You can go back. It's cool, bro. It's not that song. I never played it live till a few weeks ago because I believed it was crap. How stupid is that? Because the enemy had me believing that I didn't have something to say. And if there's one huge thing, I've learned so much this year, but if there's one thing I've learned is that I do have something to say. And I have a voice, and I think often the enemy and people around us want to snuff that out as soon as they can, but actually God was saying something greater, and he's really revealed to me this year that I do have something to say, that I can speak truth into people's lives, and that I can influence culture, which is really cool. So I wrote this song, which I believe was a prophetic song for our generation, for my generation, about overcoming, about being children of the light, and I really sensed, after that lie was exposed, I was like, oh, it's not crap. Like, what a stupid lie. Often when we just expose it in the light, we're like, that. Why did I ever believe that, you know? But I think it was really cool, and God definitely helped me write this, and I can't believe I didn't play it. So I'm just like, screw you, enemy. I'm going to play it right now in front of you guys. Unfortunately, I forgot to type out the lyrics again, but hopefully you can hear. But it's called Children of the Light, and it was just, for me, it's a testimony of, oh man, insecurity has to die, man, in us Christians. Like, we can't be afraid of what people think. And since I got that revelation, it's just changed a lot. But here it is. It's quite a fun one as well. There's a whisper in the wind. Well, there's a melody of of change on the way. I hear the rhythm of revolution, rising up, rising up. I see hope on the horizon, 'cause there is power in this generation. Oh, you and I were born to overcome. Brothers, sisters, hear me out. Come rain or shine, we're moving forward all the time, and in the night or day, we were born to dance the blues away. Yeah, we're in the world, but we don't fit right. Open your eyes, you're children of the light. We're children of the light. Well, there's a whisper in the wind. Well, there's a melody of change on the way. Hear the rhythm of revolution, rising up. Ooh, it's rising up. I see hope on the horizon, 'cause there is power in this generation. Oh, you and I were born to overcome. Brothers, sisters, hear me out. Come rain or shine, we're moving forward all the time, and in the night or day, we were born to dance the blues away. Yeah, we're in the world, but we don't feel right. Open your eyes, you're children of the light. Ooh, yeah. Ra-bi-bi-bi-ba-ba-bam-be. Oh, oh, oh. Come rain or shine, we're moving forward all the time, and in the night or day, you were born to dance the blues away. 'Cause we're in the world, but we don't feel right. Open your eyes, you're children of the light. Oh, rain or shine, well, come rain or shine, we are moving forward all the time, and in the night or day, you were born to dance those blues away. 'Cause we're in the world, but we don't feel right. Open your eyes, you're just children of the light. Thanks. Isn't that rubbish that I believe the lie it was crap? Like, how stupid. And sometimes the lies we believe are actually so stupid, guys. But hey, like, I'm not gonna let anyone stop me from writing a song like that again. Like, what the heck? But I really believe that for this generation, guys. I don't want you to think I'm this guy who's like, I see hope on the horizon. I sound like the president, right? But I do. I have so much stinking hope, guys, for our generation. And for all generations. But what God is doing, what I've seen this year is just incredible. You and I were born to overcome, you know. We weren't born to be swamped by our circumstances, but to look at the one who can change our circumstances. So we will not be shaken, which is really cool. It's just awesome. It's cool. How you guys doing? Doing well? I'm not speaking too fast, am I? Do have the tendency to do that. That's cool. Another opportunity I had was I got to speak on a DTS, so the school that I did. I was asked with a friend to speak on worship for a few days at Byron Bay, which is crazy. Like, I'm 20 years old and I'm asked to lecture at a school. And something YWAM do really well is that they champion young people. So often the world says you're too young, but YWAM are like, actually, you're fine. And one of our values is do first, then teach, which is crazy. It's one of our values to do it and then teach about it. So I've really found a lot of gold in actually doing the things and then teaching about it and learning from experience. So me and my friend headed to Byron Bay and we taught on worship and what that means for 2 days. It was 3, I think. And basically I have a massive heart for worship, but how do you go about teaching that? Like, you can't teach someone how to worship. It's just the soul's, like how I respond, it's how we respond to the Lord and all that he's done. So we basically just unpacked the gospel for 2 days straight, just talked about the death of Jesus. And that did it, man. Like, it broke so much. And we just dove into what Jesus paid for, and there's nothing too great that we face that he hasn't paid for. And we just ended in this great worship session. We wrote loads of songs. And it was a huge turning point for me, because it was like, I can do this. And before I was teaching, I was like, man, I can't even feel, like, how can I feel 2 days? But I ended up speaking for 3 hours with no notes, and they were absolutely fixed upon it. I didn't even have a toilet break, which is crazy. And because the Holy Spirit just came alive in me, and I had this revelation. I was like, man, I may not have taught for that long before, but I have God in me. We all have the same Holy Spirit. I have all wisdom and understanding in me, because Jesus lives in me. So that means I can draw that out at his will, and I can speak that. So I just relied on Holy Spirit for his wisdom. And it came, man, and people got so much freedom. One girl came up and said to me, I didn't think the gospel was this good. Like, it seems too good to be true. But it is. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, that's the gospel I want to preach, the too good to be true gospel, but it actually is true. I never want to sell it short. Like, it's changed my life, which is really cool. And given me a heart to see what I'm doing now in every nation, in every tribe. I just want to see everyone encounter God's love like I have. Like, I want to see every boy become a man like he did in me, every girl becoming a woman of God. Because the gospel is all about identity. It's all about my created value. And I think we neglect this sometimes, but man, like, our created value is like amazing. Like, when God sees us, he sees his intention for us. So he didn't just die for sin, he died to get it out of the way so we could become like him and become the man I was always born to be, which is just nuts, man. It's amazing. So this is my it's my last song. It's called Anchor for My Soul. I wrote it like a year ago, and it's a bit where you guys might get to sing along if you're up for it. Woohoo! This has become like an anthem for me. It talks about the storms of life and overcoming. Again, it talks about the sea. But at the end, it changes into this massive call to arms, and we can do this in every tribe, every tongue, like you saw on the paintings and T-shirts. So here we go. Dark descends, there's a storm on the way. I can feel it today, it's here. But this I know, there is hope in the air. I refuse to despair anymore. Steal my heart, 'cause this vessel of glory appears to be falling apart. Lead me, I pray, 'cause I am heaven bound, where my home is found. Are rising, but my soul is shielded by your grace, and darkness closes in. You're the light that will lead me home again. Ooh, lead me, Lord, I pray. Ooh. Vessel of glory appears to be falling apart. Lead pray, 'cause I am heaven bound. Where my home is found. Feel it in my bones, I know I'm coming home. I give you all control, Spirit come invade my soul. I feel it in my bones, I know I'm coming home. I give you all control, Spirit come invade my soul. Okay, this bit you can sing along with. You up for it? I believe in you guys, you can do it. So it goes like this. Every tribe, every tongue, every nation. Reckon you can do that? Okay. Every tribe, every tongue, every nation. Cool. I reckon you've got more in you, come on. Every tribe, every tongue, every nation. I feel it in my bones. Can you hear 'em coming home? Every tribe, every tongue, every nation. Oh, we will see your kingdom come here, Lord. Every tribe, every tongue, every nation. Great job, guys. So, I wrote that song about a year ago. I just wanted to, thank you for coming out, guys. I am well aware that I've just rambled, but I hope something's landed, man. Like, just hope that some nuggets have landed and seeds have been planted. There's just so much on my heart, hey, and I just got to share the highlights. I have a blog that you guys can check out. But really, I ended with that song because it's just become like this passion that I just can't get rid of, guys. Like every tribe, every tongue, every nation, what I've experienced in God, I want everyone to experience, which is why I can't help talking to people on the streets, because when you have that love just burning inside you, you can't help but share it. And it's just awesome. I just have a really cool story I just thought of to share with you. It's pretty wild, even I was surprised. But I went out on Halloween, which was like party central in Twoomba. And we just decided to go into the streets with our guitars and just start worshipping and see what the Lord wanted to do. We didn't have a plan. And soon enough, like, people gathered because they're not used to seeing people on the guitars just not drinking, just having fun. And, and I really believe in worship as just making this atmosphere, and it's really cool. So people were just, like heaps of partying going on Halloween, which is cool. Like, they're awesome. So I just chatted to heaps of people, and I walked past one guy, and I was just walking on my own, just, praying with the Lord. And I just stopped and felt he was highlighted to me. He was sitting on a bench. He had a beanie. He was like 16 years old. So I went and stopped with him and just sat by him. And immediately I just said, "How are you going?" And he just started opening up and told me that he had depression, that his dad had abused him that day and all of this stuff. And then I was like, man, like, I feel like God highlighted you to me. And I prayed with him, and God just freed him of so much stuff. He was seeing nasty stuff in his room at night, and it wasn't cool. So I just said, God, we rebuke those, and we invite your Holy Spirit to come and dwell in him. And he gave his life to Christ just from this one conversation. I got his number, and he called me. Like, I really believe in discipling. Just a side note, I really believe in discipling people, like not just making converts and numbers, but actually growing with these people and showing them the love of God on a continual basis when you can. So I got his number, and he called me up the next day. And I was just like, what happened there, bro? Like, what was that to you? Because I love asking them to see their perspective. And he was like, when you walked up to me, your face was glowing. And I was like, what? Like, even I was like, that's wild, dude. Like, are you sure? Like, I have faith, but man, really? And he was like, yeah, your face was shining bright, and I knew that I could trust you immediately. And I was like, what? Like, that's wild. And I wasn't trying to glow. I was just walking being a Christian, and he saw that in me. So people will see that in you guys, which is so cool. So be encouraged, hey, like you have that same spirit in you. So I've been discipling him, which is awesome, and encouraging him, and I really just realized the power of encouragement. He'd never had an encouraging word in his life. I said, "You're amazing, bro." And he said, "No one's ever taught me that before." And maybe they did, but maybe it just never landed till that day. But I thought, man, if he's gone his whole life without that, how many more people have gone without encouragement their whole lives? So I make it a mission of mine to just encourage people, every tribe, every tongue, every nation. I just want to see people touched, man, with the love of the Lord. And I'm praying. I've declared that I want to go to 5 nations this year. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I just believe in dreaming big. So Cambodia is definitely one of them. And when I prayed that, I got a message from a friend immediately, inviting me to America in October, which was pretty sweet. So we'll see. So thank you so much. Before we wrap up, I really want to invite an awesome friend of mine. My friend Alex Bryan is sitting here. God has called him, God has called him to YWAM Twoomba to do a DTS. And he leaves next Tuesday, right? Wednesday? Yeah, Tuesday. So how crazy, guys, that Alex has chosen to do a DTS with YWAM in Toowoomba, which is quite a small base in the grand scheme of things where I work. And he's in Australia, so he's going to be in the same base as me. Hopefully get to staff and hang out with you, bro. But that's really cool. So he's on the January school, and I assume he'll probably, when he comes back, be doing something similar, just sharing what the Lord's done. But it will be unique for what he's done in you, man. So we really want to play a worship song with you guys. If you know it, love for you to just sing along. This song is called Good, Good Father. And just a really quick, cool thing. When my plane landed in England, I was praying about this nation, and I felt this song come into my head immediately. And I went straight to church when I got off the plane, which was wild. And we played this song. And then my same friend landed in Europe the next day, and they played the same song. So I'm just believing that this song has something in it for this nation and for the world. And I just believe that the Father heart of God is what is being poured out more than anything right now, and who we are as sons and daughters, because it will change your life when you get that identity, which is cool. So we'll just go for it, hey?
I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love here in the dead of night. And you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, and I've seen many searching for answers far and wide, but I know we're all searching for answers. Only you provide as you call just what we need before we say a word. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. 'Cause you're perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. To to us. And you're perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to us, to us. Oh, it's love so undeniable, I can hardly speak. Peace so unexplainable, I can hardly think as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still into love. Love, love, you're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Thanks so much, guys. Around to answer questions and stuff if you want after. But